Have you ever known that you were maybe on the right track and you just, instead of doing the deal, you pulled up Netflix, you pulled up the doom scroll, you disengaged? Well, we're going to be looking at the secret of getting yourself engaged with what you're doing so that you don't give up halfway along the way. But not only do you not give up, we're going to show you how to actually create momentum and to gather the spark of the moment so that you're not flailing, floundering, and wandering. And what we're talking about today is how you can use the power of a challenge, the power of a challenge. And so we'll see if I can actually get this stuff pulled up here in a second. I meant to have this queued up. Back in, oh gosh, it was 2017. I was in the offices of a company called Guaranteed Rate, which with a really cool manager in Seattle. And after I enrolled all the people into the coaching program we were doing, I had, for whatever reason, I'd brought a pile of pennies to do whatever we were doing, right? There was something I was doing that involved pennies. And that manager, who would later go on to become a really good friend, that manager issued a challenge. And the challenge was, he's like, hey, listen, well, we've got all of this extra time. He had about an hour of extra time that these people didn't have anything planned for. So he said, here's what we're going to do. Here, you take a penny, you take a penny, you take a penny, you take a penny. He gave all of us a penny, including myself. And the challenge was to go out onto the streets of Seattle and to exchange a penny for whatever anyone else would offer in exchange. And the goal was to trade and trade and trade and trade and to keep trading until we would come back 45 minutes later with whatever object in hand. And that's what we did. And I went out, and in my going, I'm actually trying to pull this up in my places here. So let's just see Seattle. I just now realized I don't know why it took me so long to figure out I could search. So we went out in the streets. We traded one thing for another. Oh, looky, cool. We've got a little visual we've got going on here today. So here we go. Oh, share a screen. There we go. Boom. So we went out, and that was my penny, and we were to trade it and trade it and trade it, trade it. Well, there we go. There's my penny. I ended up, this is what I ended up with, was this little plane here. Let's just see what my story was there. Let me share the sound. So my apologies, guys, for for this. It is worth it, though. It's worth it, right? To see the actual footage of something that actually happened. Let's see.
So my 20 minutes has expired, but got a cool airplane out of it. And I went from a penny to $6 in a matter of 15 minutes. So I don't know, what is that? Times 4, I guess $24 an hour. Panhandling ain't so bad. So there we go.
Oh, I had multiple things that these people. I was the last guy that gave me a plane. Prior to the plane, someone gave me a thermos. I don't know what they gave me there. Before that, these people gave me like $1 or $2. So I had like a variety of things that people gave me along the way. And the neatest thing that I got was not the actual plane, because that plane tragically suffered wreckage in the midst of our moving around, and so is no longer with us. But the thing that I got the most from that experience was I got exactly that. I got an experience. I got an experience that taught me. And for years after that, I thought about how I encountered fear, or I thought about how I judged other people, or I thought about how, as long as I had momentum, I stayed in the place of action. And the point is that challenge pulled me out of the normal of whatever life was, and it put me into something it was a different variety of reality. Challenges can be used to put you into a different variety of reality and actually increase your results. In the late 1970s, Dr. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, that's the doctor who first began to study and classify and quantify what's called flow. So Dr. Csikszentmihalyi decided he wanted to find out what were the moments that actually brought the most joy in people's lives. And so he used the highest technology they had at the time, beepers. He gave beepers to hundreds of teenagers all around America and at different high schools, different places, different scenarios. And what would happen is the beeper, it would go off at random times. And whenever it went off, the person was to record what they were feeling and what they were doing. And I don't know if it was to his surprise, but certainly it was to the surprise of many people, that the moments where people, these students, these teenagers, were the most joyful were actually moments where they were in the middle of something challenging. You, my friend, were made for a challenge. And unfortunately, most of us, we only activate towards the challenges that life brings towards us, right? We have the big four. We have death, moving, job change, and marriage or divorce, right? Those are things. We have childbirth. All of these things these are challenges that cause us to react and grow and actually become, in some ways, a different person. Sometimes you're the same person, but you have more calluses on your skin or your heart or your mind, or you're tougher, right? Sometimes these things sensitize you. Sometimes like all of these things, and any challenge you enter into, you're going to become a little bit different of a human being. So one of the things that I have noticed in working with people over all of the years that I've coached them is that the things that create the just unpredictably cool results are the challenges. So let's talk about a challenge. Let's talk about what it is, where it is, when to do it, all of that stuff. And I'm going to give you guys some examples of some challenges you might want to deploy in your life. The very first thing I would do actually, though, is I would actually turn you towards your vision board. And so if you have one, if you don't have one, you need to go and look up how to do a really cool vision board on my YouTube channel, because if you don't have one, you're missing out. You're missing something that is a valuable asset to your personal business and life growth. And that would be my first challenge to you, do a vision board. But let's just imagine you have this vision board. This is actually a more zeroed in version of a vision board. This is what I call a pursuit board. And so the difference between a vision and a pursuit is a pursuit's locked in on just 1 to 2 things. And a vision, of course, you can see those things back there, multiple, lots of different things that you desire and want to move towards. But a pursuit is something that is just more specific, a little more terrific. But I want you to think about what's on that vision board. And I want you to think about what you either desire the most or what's stopping you the most. What do you desire? Like love, attraction, desire, or what is it that you really need to get away from so that this can be possible? Okay. And so when you see those things, that's going to be one of the primary grounds for any challenge you do. You gotta feel it. It's got to matter. Number one. Here's the second thing about a challenge. I would say you need to have a no matter what, and it needs to have a decent time frame. 30 to 40 days is a recommended time frame. My wife and I just finished a couple of challenges, and one of those had to do with we're not Catholic, but we did Lent. So for 40 days, we didn't do the full 46, but for 40 days, we had a specific diet regimen, a specific prayer practice, there were certain things that we did that that removed other options. And we had a no matter what. I also completed a recent challenge with someone where we did 30 with 30. I ended up doing like 35, 36 days of 10,000 steps, no matter what. Oh, but it's raining, no matter what, right? Oh, but I'm not feeling good, no matter what. So a challenge has to be tied to your desire. It has to be tied to a no matter what, and it should involve other people. A challenge. I like the other people part because if you don't have other people around you, you will do what some of these other people at that the airplane workshop or the little penny give a guy a penny workshop. Let me see if I got the group. Oh gosh. Well, all right. I guess I didn't take a picture of the group that I was doing the workshop with. Most of these people were so scared to do this whole penny thing that they found a way to reason their way out of it. And that's one reason why we actually want to have others involved and engaged, is because we'll find a way to weasel out of a challenge. A quick review of why you would want a challenge. Dr. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi and the Elements of Flow said that the key elements is, number one, having a clear goal. Number two, having immediate feedback. I wanted to get this, and the feedback was, I didn't do this. I wanted to do this and I didn't do it, or I did do it, right? Clear goal and immediate feedback. The next one is going to be, it needs to be near the edge of your ability. So it's not too hard or else you'll give up, but it's not too simple or else you'll get bored. And then intense focus is that fourth key. So during the time of whenever you're doing this thing, it's intense focus. By the way, whatever your challenge can take 5 minutes, doesn't matter. But it is a no matter what commitment. And those are some of the elements of flow. Where can we put a challenge to work at? Well, again, what do you want the most? What do you want the least? How can we make a challenge towards that? How can we make a challenge towards that? I've got a few examples here. I'm just going to show these to you. There's something that my brain keeps trying to bring me to, and I'm not picking up what it's putting down. I have a split mind right now. I'll come back to it, hopefully. Here's some ideas. We've got business growth. We've got faith. We've got financial growth. We've got physical. We've got relationships, environment. We've got mind. We've got giving. We've got different areas that you might want to engage a challenge at. What is it that will be good for you? And by the way, there's no bad choice. The only bad choice is to have no choice and to not live a life of challenge and just to wait for life to bring you your challenge. I'll give a few examples of some of these. There's a principle. My brain, I think I haven't got enough coffee in there yet for it to get there. Business growth. Let's think about that. A lot of you guys are business people. Here's what it is. One thing I will say that is this. Thank you, brain, for getting me there. I want you to think about these things, like the things that you desire on your vision board. Pick one, and then when you look at it, it's like, okay, well, the challenge isn't to get that. Okay? Like I'm not like, here's one. I have 2,000. I want 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm at 759. I think if you're not subscribed, subscribe right now, please. I want 2,000. Right. I also want to do this. This one is more in alignment with what a challenge would look like. 50 workshops for people, like 50 workshops for a school of professional design, 50 speaking engagements. I can't control 2,000, but I could control this. But the 2000, I could create something that would be a challenge. Maybe I do one video short every single day. Maybe I do, I have a new video idea every single day. Maybe we have we do a lesson every single day on YouTube. It doesn't matter where we're at, but the point is there's something. Think about all of the things that can lend you or lead you to do that. That is your challenge. So the challenge is not 2000. The challenge is more about the journey to 2000. Maybe if it's $1 million that you want, maybe the challenge isn't to get $1 million. The challenge is more, maybe it's like it's the smaller steps towards it, right? Maybe it's these business growth steps or whatever. For this right here, with this 50 workshops, my challenge could be 50 workshops, but I can't really affect that 100%. That's not in my control. Maybe my challenge is to reach out to one new business owner a day, or ask for one referral a day, or have one connection a day. No matter what, right? So do you see the principle is that your challenge is not about the result. It's actually about what is likely to lead to that result that you can live with for the next 30 or 40 days. No days off, no matter what. What are those things? Now, this is all going to be different for you. And I do think that we need to, first off, it needs to matter to you. How you do it is going to be different than how I do it. I think there are ingredients of your life and of your personality that also should come into play if we're designing something. Because right now, if I were to do 100 push-ups a day, probably could do that, but I'm probably not really, honestly, I'm not there yet. But I could do 10 push-ups a day. Like there's like having things right-sized to you would be an important part of that as well. Business growth. If we're thinking about business growth, you may want to, actually these are not the ideas I had. Business growth, it might be a prospecting challenge. How many people can you reach out to? How many packages can you send? How many, outreach, we'll ask for referral every day. There's something you could do every day that involves that. Your faith, you might be memorizing scriptures. You might be reading scripture every day. It might be prayer time, meditation time every day. And it's like, you check it off every single day. Financial, maybe like you're saving, you're paying off debt, you're giving a specific amount. So we can have financial growth challenges. I think, I actually feel like I'm going to do one of those. That's going to be one of my next ones. It's going to be financial. Physical, right? Maybe it's the 10,000 step routine like we did there. Maybe it's workout every day. Maybe it's show up at the gym every day. Having a certain diet, eating a certain way every day. Relationships. I've done the, how many times, like there's one guy was working with, and I'm not going to share a story. One of the things that I'll do is if there's someone I need to recapture their heart, how many times can I touch them, high five them, hug them, give them positive words? It's like, mission recapture, the mountain of this child. I'm going to recapture the heart of that child. And so it becomes that. If you're not someone that consistently dates your spouse, you could have a, hey, we're going to have a date a week for the next 2 months, whether we like it or not. No matter what, a date a week. And it's like, yes, like adhering to a no matter what for a certain amount of time gives clarity, and it removes all other options. So those are some ideas. And I just wanted to throw out to you some thoughts, because you need to be doing a challenge, at least one. You need to be allowing yourself to reframe things so that it doesn't feel like everything's all the same. You need to have a definite ending to this. So like, we're not like threatened that we're gonna have this behavior forever. It's just, nope, for the next 30 days, for the next 40 days, no matter what. You get to the end of it, you can decide whether you want to keep it or not, but you now have something that would be a simple habit if you wanted it to be. Okay. So those are some things. I hope it helps. I hope that you will put a challenge in for yourself. And here's the deal. guys, y'all are in coaching, and this is something that you can raise your hand, you can throw something into the Q&A, because the way that this actually applies to you is different than the way it applies to me. And the goal is we want to right size these and create something that is within your capacity. We don't want to do multiple challenges. We want to do 1 to 2 at a time. 2 is tough, right? And we want them to be aimed at something that we really either desire or we really desire to be rid of. So that's the power of a challenge. Hope this helps. Go and throw your hand up, or if you got something, I'm going to check my little text message machine. I'm just going to go over there and pull. Was up. Oops, sorry. I had it open a second ago and it disappeared. So I'm not looking at my main screen. You got something, you can throw your hand up, or you can actually just write it into the Q&A. And I think sorry. I think some of you guys might be, I think the text might be, some of you might feel safer in that than this. That's fine. Oh, if I type this in, will everyone see it? They won't. Nobody will see it. Just me. All right. So I do have a question. This is perfect. Okay. All right. Wish to remain anonymous, so I will not mention you. Father of a daughter, college age. We're starting to visit colleges, but there is a distance between her and I. It's just not the same dynamic as it used to be. What can I do to make this a challenge? Okay. Not the same dynamic. Cool. Okay. Well, first off, I think it's pretty cool that you desire to make the effort. I think it's pretty cool that you are you're seeing these things and wanting to connect. And I will say that as a parent, the number one thing is if someone is desiring to connect with you, it's like, I don't know if there's anything better. I would ask you, what are the things that feel reasonable to you to do? And if you were her, and I think that's the very first thing, if you were her, what would make you feel connected to your dad being you? Okay. So, all right. If that's the case, it might be being in her world. I think so college age, I think visiting colleges or whatever is happening, go on those trips with her, get in her space, ask, invite her out. It's like all of the things that I would think that you could do. You could write notes, you could write text messages, you could do all of these things. But one of the things that I would do is find a way that you can make an effort or multiple efforts towards her. And then when you do, find a way to track that. I think you are someone who has marbles, but maybe just walk around with a marble, or maybe a pocket full of coins. You move the coins from one pocket to another. And that way, as you're, you could be talking to her and, you got that coin in your hand as a reminder. But I would say having a physical reminder of your desire to, pursue this person. Also, pictures, put pictures up, put a picture up, find your favorite picture of your favorite moment where you felt like that was true. And so, make that believable, put it in your area, and make it something that is a constant reminder talking to you. If, if you want to involve your spouse, have the conversation with your spouse. Your spouse may or may not feel the same. Maybe it's just you. If that's the case, you may or may not have, I guess, like that social surrounding, but just like have it like, if it's one attempt per day, or five touches, or, 2 compliments, or like give yourself something very specific you're trying to go for every single day. My friend, watch what happens at the end of 30 to 40 days and set a goal and see how that one feels for you. All right. What challenge, what someone here, thank you. Challenge might help you discern if you are still in love or are capable of falling back in love with your current occupation? Oh, that's a great question. That's right up my alley. Thank you for that one. So I think first off, I guess there's two questions or challenges. I would say my very first question is, are you going all out right now in what you're doing? If you are not going all out in what you're doing, then I would actually come up with a challenge that would be that, because sometimes you're not in love with your occupation because it's an occupation and not a vocation. It's something that it occupies space and time, but it's not something you would choose. And so one test or challenge that I would actually have is to go back and ask yourself the 50 questions that I have in the I'm gonna put there is a list of 50 questions that I have for a vision board questions. Bear with me. I'll pull up the vision board challenge in a second, but there's a list of 50 questions. There it is, that are right here. And this, no, wrong one. What just happened? Whoopsie. Something going on with my website. I need to figure that out. All right. Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because School of Professional Design is the website's not up for some reason. But ask yourself the 50 questions. If you see it in the equations, like literally ask the questions. Oh, you know what? I actually have, that's okay. I have that on podcast format as well. That's so weird that my site is in Spotify. All right. So on the podcast, I would listen to these questions that I go through on here. And if you see in the, oh, you know what it is? It's not my school. It's this stupid, it's this dumb, ever since I downloaded someone's Microsoft Teams, it's killed my Google Chrome. Sorry about that. Because even Spotify wouldn't pull up. All right. So I'm going to drop something in here. Listen to these questions. And if you see your business or your work or whatever it is that you are asking if you're still in love with it, if you see it, that's the very first thing. Like, does it match what it is that you're doing? Next off is, I would say, like, what would it look like if you were all in on this? Sometimes it's not so much the business, it's the challenge that leaves us. And we need to find a new way to make it a new challenge. And sometimes we have to see an old thing a new way. I would say also, going through any of the courses and, log into the School of Professional Design and go through any of those. If you just listen to any of this stuff, you're going to find this. Actually, here, I'm going to show you this. This is on Spotify. This is a School of Professional Design podcast. And there are multiple in here, but one of them, there's one that actually literally goes through I'll leave you one. I'll put one in here, not just the 10 Ps. I'm going to look for the one that's just the vision one. There it is. Questions that ignite vision. I'm dropping that into the chat for everyone right now. I would do that. The next one is, I would go all out for 40 days. What does all out look like? And which parts of it are you not in love with? Here's the other thing. I might slightly change the people that I'm serving. You might be sick of a certain group of people you're serving, and maybe you do the same thing for new people, right? It might be, by the way, it's time to change. And I think if you're open to that change, what happens is, here's my other question. This is a good litmus test. When you're in the middle of doing what you're doing, is there anything else that you say, I wish I was doing that? Now, sitting on an island drinking Mai Tais doesn't count, but you're working. And in your mind, your head's over here, but your heart's over somewhere else. And wherever it is that your heart keeps going, I actually feel like the more you work hard at something you don't like, it reveals something to you that you do. So I would take that 40-day challenge of all out in that business. And that doesn't mean 12-hour days, right? It means you, during the time where you're there, you're only there. Your head is where your feet are. And when you're going, when you're pushing really hard, trying your best to work this as though you were in love with it. All the rest of us would think you were in love with it, as though you're in love with it. You're either going to fall in love with it, or you're going to be thinking about something else. And whichever way you find your heart going, that is the direction that you need to begin to pursue. It's not a logic game, right? What you're made to do is a heart game. And sometimes the only way we can find the right thing is by being with the wrong thing. I tell the story of my wife leaving Philadelphia, chasing a guy down to the area where I met her in Gainesville, and he was not the right thing for her. And because she saw what she didn't want, it brought her to an area she thought she wanted him, that she thought that was the guy, and it wasn't. But it opened the door, and it eventually, what you desire will bubble up, right? So it opened the door for us to eventually be together, and so that was a wonderful thing. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, sometimes an occupation or job is or a career. Listen, it's for a season. It was to bring you into something else. So be open-minded along the way. Journal, write, get one of these pendants if you want. Talk it through with a pendant, but take the challenge and see what it actually reveals, and push yourself. Push yourself. That's a great question. Oops. Cool. Done. Any more? I'm going to go check the other little area. Perfect. Nothing here. Nothing there. Well, guys, that's what this is about. This is about me inviting you into a place where we are able to examine what it is that you've got going on in your world, in your life. And if we got nothing else, then that means you don't know how it would be useful for us to lock horns on something. And I am okie dokie with that. Be mindful, be creative. Think about this going forward so that it might be possible for us to, help you out in a specific way. So, all right, guys, for now, we will say goodbye. And other than that, go find a challenge. I would maybe send me a message on what challenge you're going to choose for yourself, or what you're going to try for yourself. That would be my ask of you. So for now, talk to you later.